When buying a business, the legal aspects are arguably the most important because if done incorrectly, your transaction might be recognized as legally invalid, and that means that you have spent money on something that right now isn't even yours. So in this video, we will be discussing how to buy a business in the UK, ensuring compliance with the Companies Act if you're doing a share purchase acquisition. We will go over the different stages of a business acquisition. I'll share my screen so you can see exactly what needs to be done step by step. Also, if you're new, let me just very quickly introduce myself. I'm Malcolm Zoppi, an English qualified solicitor and the managing director of Gaffney Zoppi, my law firm. And on YouTube, my goal is to make business law and acquisitions easy. Make sure to stay until the end of the video to find out what to include in your share purchase agreement. Great, so the first step is to draft and negotiate the heads of terms. And here I would advise buyers to at least consider including exclusivity clauses, which will allow the buyer to be the sole potential buyer of that business for a period of time. This avoids you competing with other potential buyers. I've linked here a YouTube video of mine on heads of terms, and you'll also see it right here. So the second step is to draft and send the due diligence questionnaire to the seller. This will be a document that lists the questions that you want to ask the seller and the kind of documents that you want to see. Again, I've linked a video of mine here, and it should also be accessible right here. Thirdly, the seller will open a virtual data room and upload to that data room the documents that you have requested. A virtual data room is like a database accessible online, and it is broken down by folders, each containing the information that you requested. Fourthly, you will then conduct due diligence by inspecting and analyzing the documents shared by the seller. Again, I've included a video here on due diligence, and I will link it right here. Once you have conducted due diligence and you've identified any red flags, you might either back out of the deal or proceed with the purchase, but you'll want to include warranties and indemnities in your share purchase agreement, which is step number 5. I'm sharing another video of mine on share purchase agreements. You can access it right here. The sixth step is one of the most important steps and strangely very often overlooked by buyers. And that is producing the corporate documentation that is required to comply with the Companies Act 2006. Since it is the responsibility of the buyer to produce these documents, make sure to appoint qualified solicitors who are specialized in acquisitions to do this for you. Getting this part wrong might recognize the transaction as invalid, and that means that you're not the legal owner of those shares. Seventh, you'll want to negotiate the disclosure letter. Now, the disclosure letter is a document produced by the seller of the business, and that document will outline the key disclosures that they have made to you as the buyer. Moving on to step 8 is to actually complete on the acquisition. So that is when the share purchase agreement is signed and dated, the money is sent to the seller, and all of these documents are signed or exchanged. And lastly, you'll want to complete your post-completion procedural steps. For example, you will need to notify Companies House of the transfer of shares. You'll need to submit certain documents and forms and cancel and issue new share certificates. Thanks for watching until now. As a bonus, these are the top 3 things that you should include in your share purchase agreement. Firstly is the consideration mechanism. So how is the purchase price calculated? Is it a fixed price? Or is it based on the financial performance of the business? Secondly, you'll want to include extensive warranties. So these are promises that the seller makes as to the state of the business the day that you're buying that business. And thirdly, indemnities. So these are provisions that force the seller to pay you in case something goes wrong. So for example, you might have had a warranty that states that the target business has paid all of its tax. And if it turns out that that isn't the case and HMRC comes after you as a new owner of that business, then you'll want to be able to claim back from the seller the money that you have to pay to HMRC. Amazing. Now you have a good understanding of the different stages and requirements of a share purchase acquisition. But before you proceed with your acquisition, make sure to watch this video that tells you exactly how to turn heads of terms into your advantage. Watch it right here. Thanks for watching.